Mental Break Podcast. Mental Break Podcast. Mental Break Podcast.
Ready, locked in.
I'm your host, Seline. We have host Gary, and we have host Steve Brulee, comedian Steve Brulee. Today we are here to talk about health, wealth, and relationship. First, let's introduce everybody on this platform. Gary, Steve.
How you
Hey,
doing?
this is Gary.
I'm Steve Brulee. What it is?
All right, Gary. What is your take on the subject we have for today: health, wealth, and relationship?
Well, I guess I'll start off talking about health. Obviously, when you think about health, you think about the exercising and you think about all of the physical attributes to it. But I also think health has a lot to do with your mental health as well. Um, Maintaining a diet is what we're familiar with. Um, Taking time out of your day or your week to exercise, we are all familiar with. But I think as we start to include mental health, now it opens up a door for a different discussion. It opens up a door to talk about what are the things that you do to balance off your life as you face stress every day. Um, we start to open up a door where it's about taking those mental breaks that we've talked about in the past throughout today to balance your stress, to balance the various things that you face on a daily basis, because your mental health truly plays a large part in maintaining health. Everybody is familiar with getting proper sleep, to balance out your body, to restore your body. Um, but I just like to kind of put a little bit more focus on the mental health part, and talk about, you know, me a little bit. I have a grandson that's 6 years old, and every day, in so many different ways, um, I'm stressful, just kind of helping him navigate through his day. From the number of questions that he has to helping him with his schoolwork to, helping him understand how to study and learn and process what he's learning. Just the other day, I was teaching him how to tie his shoe. And I can't imagine how much stress I was feeling, as he learned how to make the first loop and as he um, learned how to do the second loop until eventually he got it. And the excitement and the energy behind him feeling so satisfied with being able to now successfully tie his shoe. To most people, this may seem like a normal, everyday reality, that could cause stress, but it shouldn't have an impact on you the way would affect your health. Um, I felt so burnt out. I felt so um, like I had done a workout in the gym for 60 minutes and did cardio and did upper and lower. It was like the amount of stress that was put into it just unexpected and overwhelming. And um, and that something as simple as that could have a huge impact on my health if I don't allow it um, to be addressed and to be dealt with. And to, I can say, well, I needed to go and take a nap. I can say, well, I needed to kind of go and just, to my secret space to relax and kind of regroup. That's just one small example of how throughout the day, we may face all different varieties of stress, and
Absolutely.
we need to recognize it and take it into account that just as much stress that was caused, we need to find a way to balance it off with addressing it and calming down and relaxing and giving our body the ability to regroup. So, health to me is, yes, all of those things that we've been told, in terms of health, eating a proper diet and exercising, et cetera. But I just want to include the mental health part of it as well.
Absolutely, and I'm glad you did. Now we're going to pass it over to Steve Brulee.
Go to the gym. If you don't like what you see in the mirror, go to the gym. Like, it's just the mental push, to pick it back up, Gary. It's the mental push to do what you don't want to do, and then seeing the results, because you're not going to see results right away. And I think that's the biggest thing with being with your health and working out is people go to the gym one day and think they went lift some weights, and in 2 weeks they're going to be Arnold Schwarzenegger or Ronnie Coleman or something like that.
What is your word of encouragement for today, Gary?
Well, my word of encouragement is definitely to focus on the things that matter. And the things that matter are your health. The things that matter are your wealth, which is a state of mind or it could be financially. But I think as we combine those two, it's amazing how, Celine, you said they go in a certain order. They go in an order of health being first, because I do believe that that allows you, as Steve indicated, to put the work in on taking all the necessary steps of physically improving your health. I also think that, like I indicated, it's about you also understanding that there's a mental part of this thing that plays a huge part in your health, from a stress perspective and from just understanding that it ties in heavily to your health. But I think about wealth, and the reason why I focused on state of mind. I mean, I can spend the next hour talking about, the developmental plan of putting to action, building wealth, how saving and investing and a financial perspective of wealth, but most people are familiar with that. So that's why I focused on the state of mind, which is probably more wealthy, and more successful, for most people if they allow themselves to be satisfied with where they are. Then they lose that enthusiasm of understanding that, wealth is like Steve said. You get 1 million, you probably want 5 million. You get 5 million, you want 10. Imagine that being applied to a state of mind. The more I'm comfortable with, who I am and what I've done, the better I want to become. The more influential and a resource I want to become for others. It's a huge part of wealthy, growing and development. But I want to finish off with where you started, Celine, and that is talking about relationships. And the reason why I think they all come in that certain order, because the better you are with your wealth and the better you are with your health, the more productive you can be in being able to
Absolutely.
share that with someone else.
Yes.
And, like you said, when you have taken care of yourself, when you have put yourself in your best place, then you're more likely capable of helping someone else and being in a healthy relationship with somebody, because you're able to give. You're not needing to spend as much time on developing you. You have the ability to now give to that relationship because you are a solid foundation. You are very healthy and wealthy in a state of mind. And that just brings a lot of opportunity for that relationships to grow, because you're implying all of those essential pieces that made you you, that helped you become healthy, that helped you become wealthy. And now you can invest that into this relationship. And that's what allows your partner to receive all of the great things that you put the work in to become into now a relationship to where you all can become. It's an amazing process. And this is an amazing, podcast tonight to really, talk about the values of developing health, developing wealth, and being able to put all of that into a relationship.
Absolutely. This couldn't be more, guys. I love this. And it's again, um, wow. Um, Gary said it, this is an amazing segment tonight. And I didn't think Gary and Steve will bring on their champions hats. Hats off to you both. I got to say this because the way you guys broke it down and elaborated on it, because the goal for us is for everyone to be informed, for everyone to know the difference, and because when you know better, you do better. This is our goal and our focus. And guys, my word of encouragement for tonight will be maintain your health, maintain your wealth, and maintain your relationship. You'll be the happiest in this world.
Absolutely. Any closing words from you, Steve?
Like I was saying, Seline took the words right out of my mouth. That was the first conversation we had when we had met each other. Is maintenance. I was in the military for 10 years. I was a maintenance mechanic. I was in the post office for 10 years. I was a maintenance mechanic. Maintaining is an important factor in all of those, because you could build your wealth, you could build your health, you could build your relationship, but if you don't know how to maintain it, if you know how to keep it, if you're not working to keep it, it's not going to survive. Just like a plant, you stop watering the plant, it dies. It doesn't water itself. None of that. You got to make sure that you keep adding water to the jug to keep pouring it into the plant. And that's the main thing that I've learned from talking to Seline, and just with this conversation, is you got to maintain it. You can build up $1 million. If you don't know how to maintain $1 million, it's
You
better.
go.
We've heard a million stories throughout our timeline where people have made so much money and then it's all gone. That's why, because they don't know how to maintain it. I get the hustler's ambition. I get the hustler's mentality. I get the wealth mentality. I want to get this. I got this. All this other stuff. But if you don't know how to control it and maintain it and hold on to it, then you're better off without it. Honestly. So maintaining.
Health is very important because I'm in my 30s. I got to make sure that I stay, healthy. So you inspired me, and if I can say anything about Gary's making sure that everything is nice and titty, you know what I mean, in his life when it comes to this and that. He was a football player, so I don't even have to say anything about him being in the gym working out. This guy used to sweat it off on the field. So I'm so happy that I'm around people who stay motivated, who is inspired in their own ways and unique ways, and I like that. Guys, I'm so happy tonight we brought on a subject that is what everybody wakes up to every day and thinks about: health, wealth, relationship. So I'm glad that we are able to at least, if anybody can learn, if one person learned something from this tonight, that is our goal, at least.
Absolutely. I'm hoping that people walk away from hearing this, um, rethinking and applying what they've heard. You know, like Steve indicated, it's easy to say my New Year's resolution is to get in the gym and to work out and to get fit. And then 30 days later, you know, the reality sets in of all the other things in life that you must take care of. And those New Year resolutions start to fade. But we're hoping that people walk away from this podcast tonight recognizing that um, they're all equally important. And when you develop your health, um, it does give you a lot more energy. It does allow you to give your best self. Um, those things that you at one point would say, I want to do, now all of a sudden you're starting to do those things. Those things that you wish you had time for, all of a sudden your body is allowing you to find time to get those things done. It's a huge part of choices, and how you feel contributes to motivating you to make those choices come true. But just as important as health, clearly wealth is a major part of living, and being able to enjoy things in life, financially as well as mentally. And I think that, again, I could spend a lot of time talking about just the developmental plan of developing wealth from a financial perspective. I've chosen to focus more on the mental health part of it tonight only because I want people to see that um, a mental health and wealth is far more valuable, and you appreciating and feeling great about yourself as you go through life. But I couldn't say more, and than I have about how important those things play in relationships. When you're now trying to give your best self to someone else, it's definitely a motivating, powerful thing when what you're giving them is someone that's healthy and wealthy, and that person can receive the best you.
And let the church say amen. That was very, very well said. Well put together as well. Um, so if you have not seen our other episode, please go on YouTube. We uh we have a few episodes on YouTube. But again, guys, I really hope somebody or everyone took away something from this that was said from myself, Gary, and Steve Brulee. Thank you guys. Thank you for listening. And of course, again, this is the Mental Break Podcast. Gary and I are so happy to have Steve Brulee, our comedian. And again, Steve, Comedy Hours show comes on every Wednesday here on Mental Break Community at 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. So guys, stay locked in, tune in, and if you want to laugh, all
Looking
right. So
forward to it. Looking forward to it.
all right, I'll let one of you guys
Appreciate it.
do the closer.
I let go ahead and let Mr. Gary do it, man. I'm here from just to lighten the moment, let him get it, you feel me? Let him touch up on it. Really, I got an hour to give y'all a laugh, so I'll let him go ahead and spill the
All right,
knowledge
Gary,
on y'all.
out.
Well, I think the closing has been said, and that is that it is absolutely necessary that we focus on our health, that we understand that it's about developing wealth, because that's what provides us with the best opportunities to have a healthy relationship in life. So I thank everybody for listening tonight and look forward to seeing you the next time. Y'all have a good night.
Good night, everyone.